Hello, buddies. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's continue where we left last time. So you may remember that we were implementing a finite state machine in order to handle different screens through which the player can navigate before playing the game. So basically, the menu navigation. So in the last videos, which I advise you to watch in the link that appears on the screen, we implemented this state manager and the stack. And now what we're going to do now is to implement the menu state, which is like an abstract class. Okay, again, every time I say class, it's not actually a class because Lua doesn't support that notion, but it contains tables that can act like classes. And so basically we had this menu state, which is the abstract class, and then we will implement different concrete states which represent different screens, menu screens or menu face. So let's go. Let's get it started. So the first thing we are gonna do just a second, please. So yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is the menu state. So we're going to create a new file. We're gonna new state.lua and let's go with it. As always, we just initialize and return the table that we create. Well, this is a very nice idiom, by the way. I use it a lot. It's basically saying whether it depends if I receive an object which is not the empty table or nil, I will just use it. Otherwise, in case this object is nil, or I mean there's no parameter for new, I will initialize to the empty table. This is what I'm doing here is what it actually supports the inheritance in Lua. I won't go into the details here, but if you have specific questions about it, just ask me. I'll leave me a comment and I will explain why this works the way it works. So this abstract class, as we were mentioning, will essentially contain the basic methods that all states can respond to. So first of all, it will have a load method, where all the elements will be loaded. The element of that current screen will be loaded, and so on with the rest. As you can see, as a parameter, I'm passing also what I call menu screen, which actually it's the owner of the finite state machine, and I need to pass this parameter in the different methods in order to access some properties of this owner, in this case the menu screen. So for instance, if I want just to implement let's say a a method that it's shared by default by every concrete class or for every concrete state. I could do something like, if I press escape, I just can go to the previous state. So as you can see, by passing the menu screen parameter, I can access the methods of this owner. In this case, I know the owner is the menu screen because I'm implementing it for this menu screen. And this way, no matter in which menu we are, if we press the escape key, we will go to the previous state. And this will be shared by all the concrete states that we create. And we're done with this MiniState abstract class, and now we're going to implement different concrete states. So let's create a new file called menu navigation states.lua. And here we are going to implement the different states. So first we depend on the abstract class. And now what we're gonna do, we're going to create a table, which contains the different states. So for instance, we have the press start state. I will simply create it. Then we have the character selection state. And finally we have the time selection state, where we choose the time of the race. Now in order to, well, I'm gonna do this just in order to save some typing. Okay, so now we're going to implement all these the states here. So if we can start with the press start state. So as you remember, we implemented this start state in a previous video. I also leave a link that you can click right now. And during this state, we had this press start message scaling, well, with a scaling animation. And this is what we are going to do. The code basically it's the same. The only thing that we've done is to refactor it into a concrete state. Oops. So this is it. I just omitted some part of the code because it's basically the same. At this point, I wanna point out an observation, and as you may remember if you've seen previous videos, what we actually have here in this code prior to the refactoring. So remember that first of all, we had this only menu screen file where we would perform different actions depending on a variable state, which could have different values. So if I open this old menu screen.lua, what we have here is that in the load, where is it? The load method, we would load all the assets and all the stuff that we needed for all the phases of the different stages of the menu navigation. And for instance, if we were in state 1, we would draw this start image, and this piece of code is what we actually have here, now isolated and encapsulated in its own state. In the case of update, where we actually perform the scaling animation, we can see here that this piece of code is exactly the same, and well, the same applies for the rest of states. So I guess you can understand now better how the old code relates to, or it has been refactored into this new structure. Now, when we want to change state, for instance, when we press the return key or the space, which actually is not this, this is the old version of Love2D. Now it's just a space. Now, if I press any of these keys, I change state, and just in order to change the state, I just use the menu screen method change state, and I pass the new state, which is character selection state, which is defined up here. And for the rest of the states, we proceed in the same way. We for each state we define of course the dependencies on other files that we require, and we overload the menu states functions methods, right? So load, draw, update, keep pressed, and this would be for a character selection state. And we do the same for the time selection state. The result, if everything goes fine, okay, there's an error. Let me check it. Okay, I forgot this. Okay. Menu navigation states in new menu screen. In new menu screen. I forgot, important to return this menu navigation states in the end. So now we start with this person start screen. Then when we hit just return, we can select the different characters, or so the second player can do the same. And when we press start again or return, we can select a different time of the race. If I hit escape button, I move backwards, as you can see, and basically this is it. Then we would have this menu screen, which now where is it? Which ties everything together. So basically, this new menu screen imports the states manager and imports all the states, the menu navigation states. And upon loading, what it does is to set the current state manager. It also sets the current the first state, which is menu navigation state, press start state. And then it basically delegates the different methods, draw, update, etc., to the state manager. And well, this is all. I don't know if you have any questions. If you want to, if I made some programming mistake that you want to point out, I will be very happy. I just want to improve always. And this is how you can use finite state machines to control the flow of navigations during a menu, for instance. This very same structure can be used in order to implement artificial intelligence for different characters or enemies. And well, that's all for now. See you in the next video and hope you've enjoyed. Bye.